What if I told you that in just 5 minutes a day, you could literally rewire your brain for happiness? And now that's not just some nice thought, it's a real possibility, and it's all grounded in the science of your brain. We're not talking about expensive tools or really complicated routines. We're talking about one single, incredibly powerful habit that can fundamentally change the way you experience your life. This isn't wishful thinking, folks. This is a practice backed by actual neuroscience. And you know what? That's probably true for a lot of people. The problem is that most of us practice gratitude in a way that's just too surface level. It's a passing thought, not a deep practice. And so it never creates any real lasting change. Look, just kind of saying, I'm grateful for my life, well, that's what we call shallow gratitude. It's a general statement that just doesn't stick because there's no depth to it. But deep gratitude, the kind that actually rewires your brain, that's different. It's specific, it's detailed, and most importantly, it demands a real, genuine emotional connection. It's a structured practice that leads to profound change because you're not just thinking it, you're feeling it in your bones. So, what's the secret tea here? What unlocks the true power of gratitude? Well, it all comes down to science. And this is the really cool part. This isn't magic. It's a predictable biological process happening inside your own brain every single time you do this. So by default, our brains are wired for survival, right? That means they're constantly scanning for problems, for stress, for what's missing. Your brain is basically a threat detection machine. But here's what's so amazing. A consistent gratitude practice can literally change that default setting. You're retraining your brain to start automatically scanning for opportunities, for positives, and for the progress you've already made. You are changing what your mind looks for without even trying. And this is all possible because of something called neuroplasticity. Now, it's a fancy word, but all it really means is that your brain has this incredible ability to reshape and reorganize itself based on your repeated thoughts. So think about that. When you practice gratitude every day, you're not just having a nice thought. You are literally being the architect of your own mind. You're building new neural pathways that make happiness and calm your new default state. And here's why it feels so good in the moment. This practice triggers the release of two really important neurotransmitters. You've got dopamine, which is the chemical for drive and motivation, and serotonin, which gives you that feeling of calm and well-being. So practicing gratitude is like giving yourself a natural shot of both, boosting your motivation and your emotional stability at the exact same time. And look, this isn't just a theory. The results are totally measurable. Studies from the world of positive psychology show that a regular gratitude practice can increase your baseline happiness levels by up to 25%. 25%! In just a few weeks, that is a stunningly effective result for a habit that takes 5 minutes a day. Hey, just a quick pause. If you're getting value from this content, please take a second to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and maybe share this with someone you think needs to hear it. It really helps us create more explainers just like this one. Okay, so now we know why it works. Let's get into the how. The real transformation comes from moving through 5 distinct levels of gratitude. This is the structure that makes the practice so incredibly effective. Think of it like climbing a ladder. We start with the tangible stuff, right? Things and people. Then we move inward to our experiences, and then comes the most powerful shift of all. Challenges. And finally, we arrive at the most profound state there is, gratitude for existence itself. So, levels 1 and 2. This is the foundation. This is where most people start, and honestly, it's where most people stop. Being grateful for your home, your food, your family, your friends. It's an absolutely essential starting point that builds that feeling of connection. But the real growth, that happens when you start to go deeper. Level 3 is where things get really interesting because it gets personal. This is about being grateful for experiences. Think about a tough lesson you learned, or a small win you had today, or a memory that really shaped who you are. This level turns your own past into an endless well of happiness and strength. You start to see that your life has so much value in its moments, not just in the big outcomes. And now for what I think is the most transformative level of them all, gratitude for challenges. I mean it. This is where you reframe your entire relationship with failure, with rejection, with hardship. You start to see that a failure actually taught you discipline. A rejection built your confidence. You stop asking, why is this happening to me? And you start asking, what did this build in me? This is where true resilience is born. Okay, quick pause. If this is hitting you, if that last idea really resonated, just comment start below. Let me know you're on this journey right here with me. And finally, that brings us to the top of the ladder. Level 5, existence. This is the highest state. At this level, you're no longer grateful because of something that happened. You are grateful simply for the fact that you exist, for your breath, for your heartbeat, for the pure ability to experience this very moment. This is where happiness becomes truly unconditional, creating a peace that is profound and absolutely unshakable. So, how do you actually put all of this into practice? Let's break it down into a super simple, actionable, 5-minute guide that you can literally start using tonight. Here we go. Minute 1, ground yourself. Just take a deep breath and find one small thing you usually overlook. For minute 2, get specific. Don't just say, I'm grateful for my job. Say, I'm grateful my job lets me pay my bills and provide for my family. In minute 3, you add emotion. You ask yourself, why does this really matter to me? And you let yourself truly feel the answer. For minute 4, you visualize. Briefly, just for a moment, picture your life without that one thing. This contrast creates a huge surge of appreciation. And finally, minute 5, express it. Say it out loud, write it down, or even better, send a message and tell someone. Now, to make this thing stick, keep it simple. Do it first thing in the morning to set the tone for your whole day, or do it right before bed to kind of reset your perspective. The best way to build any habit is to attach it to something you already do, like right after you brush your teeth. And please remember this. Consistency beats intensity. 5 minutes every single day is so much more powerful than doing an hour once a month. So, what's the ultimate outcome of all this? What's the big payoff? It is so much more than just being in a good mood. It's a fundamental transformation. It's a completely new way of living and seeing the world. We live in a world that is constantly chasing more. More money, more success, more followers, more everything. Gratitude teaches you the radical secret to feeling fulfilled right now, before you have everything you think you want. And it is from that state of fulfillment that true clarity, true confidence, and limitless energy are born. And hey, don't forget to subscribe and follow this channel for more content that can really change your life. We are committed to bringing you tools that make a real difference. If this message resonated with you, I want you to do 2 things. First, start the 5-minute gratitude practice today, not tomorrow, today. Second, comment below, day 1, if you're starting this habit with us, because small daily actions create massive life changes.